We are following a major story out of the Philippines, a major storm, a super typhoon barreling across the Central Islands. The storm is, well, it's a beast.
Super Typhoon Haiyan. Last hour, the storm made landfall in the eastern Philippines, and it has all the makings of a major disaster.
People have been forced to flee their homes, and at least 4 people have died after a super typhoon swept across Southeast Asia. Typhoon Haiyan is one of the most powerful storms ever recorded, a Category 5. It slammed into the Philippines early Friday morning.
I'm the director of Relief Team 1, currently stationed in San Remigio, Cebu, Philippines.
I am Mayor Mariano Martinez of the Municipality of San Romeo, Province of Cebu.
I'm Arshel Tado, the Administrative Assistant of Relief Team 1, San Remigio, Cebu, Philippines.
RT1 is a nonprofit organization which was started in response to the devastation in Haiti. I felt that I had the skills and I could help in Haiti to assist that community. When I first arrived in San Remigio, Cebu, the villages and the surrounding area looked like it was carpet bombed. Trees were down, houses were down, debris everywhere. People were milling around, kind of dazed. They were still smiling, but they were obviously traumatized by the event. In this area alone, in the San Remigio area, 14,000 plus families were affected. For some of them, their homes were totally destroyed. Others, they were just heavily damaged. But for 14,000 people, they couldn't live in those dwellings.
When the typhoon struck, I was here the days during and right after. I started here in the second floor with a few people. But when it was at its strongest, we ended up in the common comfort room downstairs, all of us, together with the police force and even some of their prisoners. Right after the typhoon, maybe at 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, because it started at about 9, and it finished in the afternoon, you could see a lot of people who lost their homes, rushing to this municipal building, and to seek shelter because they didn't have roofs. We were leaking all over the place, but we had a second concrete floor, so they were downstairs in the ground floor, and they stayed here for I think 3 days. No electricity, no water.
If you don't have a home, you don't have a stable base for your family to function. If you're living under under a tarp or under one piece of plywood, like a lot of them were, you can't stabilize enough to go out and reignite your personal economy. Although the Philippine people are very resilient and they're very strong and they're very courageous, unless you have a home, you're in big trouble.
And so at that time, I'd stay here because a lot of international groups would come. Some of them offered tents. I said no. I was not sold to the idea of tents. I've seen tent cities being built, and after that, after a few years, people are still living in tents. So I told the international groups, if they want to help, come up with houses, even small ones, but make it at least semi-permanent. And one of the first groups that came here was Sign of Hope and Relief Team 1.
Our objective coming here was to get them off the valley floor, get them up into a residence even a modest residence with a roof over their heads as quickly as possible. And that's what we did.
You have a house, it doesn't have to be nice, but as long as you have a roof over your head and it's something which you can call your own, then you have a better relationship with your family, with your siblings, and it, as a whole, it brings dignity to you and to everybody who lives in that house.
Came into the community, met with community leaders in the San Remigio area, met with the mayor. We determined an area that the mayor and his administration needed the most help in. I went that day and bought a truckload of lumber, went to the community, and I hired 2 carpenters, and we started building a house, the first house that day. Within 6 months, we had almost 300 houses built using local labor, and we paid the labor, and also there were volunteers from the villages that came and helped us at no cost, just to participate in the reconstruction of their communities.
RT1 is a big help for us here, especially in Libaong area, because before, even though the municipality knows about Libaong, but they ignore that one. So we are happy that the RT1 is coming there to help the people, especially in employment. It's very difficult.
We're in Libaong. It's a small mountain community, 15 kilometers, 15 clicks south of San Remigio, Cebu. This is an area that was devastated by Hurricane Yolanda. We came in here and built a number of houses and provided assistance to the people, working hand in hand with Dado, who is the barangay captain, and he's the chief, he's the administrator of this barangay. And he has been extraordinarily supportive in the redevelopment in our program here to help the people. The other person I want you to meet is Jerry. Jerry is a landowner here, and he's the first guy that embraced the idea of a sanctuary program which we're developing in Jita, and the purpose of which is to preserve the ecology, preserve the environment, so that the people can live in harmony with the environment, and the environment can prosper.
I'm the village chief here, the administrator of this barangay. This barangay is located around 86.5 kilometers from Cebu City, in the northern part of Cebu, in the mountainous part of municipality of San Remigio. This is a very remote barangay, so very few NGO can reach here to help the community. So we are very thankful toward the Relief Team 1 to come here and help our community rebuild their houses, because we are also very affected by the strongest typhoon in the world.
These are the houses that we built with Relief Team 1 and Side of Hope. These are the houses, and then they made, these are the families that we have right now here, and they made the extension out of it. So after the typhoon, we are very happy to have these houses for their shelter from the scorching heat of the sun, and also from the cold weather during the night.
All the houses are the same. They're post and beam frame houses that are elevated about 2 feet off the ground. They have bamboo floors, amakan walls, which is a woven bamboo, and a GI or a tin roof.
What is your life here at your house? Sige, kiri mo abuhan day. Ito naman abuhan. Ayaw mo panghugasan. This is your kitchen? Abuhan. Sulti lang kung sana. Abuhan. This is your kitchen, and this is where they wash their their plates.
We were able to produce a house every 4.5 days with a crew of 5 men. 1,500 people have been directly affected by our work in this community. So we worked hand in hand very, very well. We never had a problem in 297 houses, and it went fast.
We are lucky that the RT1 is coming in that area, so we're hoping that they can continue to help us there, especially people there in Libaong area.
You know, the response has been great. The Philippine people are really very open and friendly. The Philippine people are very resilient, and they're very strong, and they're very courageous.
We're a very smiling people. Filipinos are, well, now I like to think of them as very resilient people, very friendly. If you live here, you'll learn to love them. You'll learn to like and love Filipinos.
I had been working in the San Remigio area, building houses, restoring families to, working condition for about 6 months. And one of the guys that worked for me brought to my attention that there was a family living deep in the bush that had not received any assistance yet from the international community, and they were in trouble. And there was a sick boy. So I dropped everything, got in the truck. My administrative assistant, Arshel, and some other people, went. I always took Arshel with me because she's my translator also. So we went in the bush and walked up on this cluttered area. There was a guy there with goats, and we started talking to him, and I looked to my left under a mango tree, and I saw a leg under a piece of plywood. And, I made mention, I said, well, what's that? And I walked over and I lifted the plywood, and here was a naked little boy, shriveled up little human being, who had, he had excrement coming down his leg, and ants were all over they were eating the excrement, and there's no easy way to say that. So that's exactly what I saw. So, I had the power to build a house for these people. I brought 20 carpenters in, and in a day and a half, we had him in a house up off the ground. I provided caretaker assistance to get him cleaned up. Apparently, and I'm not a doctor, he's got muscular dystrophy, or something's frozen his bones. Cognitively, he's around 2 or 3 years old. It's a really sad story. He weighs about 50 pounds. His family carries him around by a crook it's like a natural handle that his leg has formed from being stiff, and they grab him by that and move him around, and they can easily pick him up because he's only 50 pounds or less. So we've gone back from time to time just to check on him, and he's still alive, but we're hoping to get support for him on a continual basis, caregiver support.
Because sometimes I feel discouraged myself, but now all of your groups help me about my family problems. I encourage myself to fight.
He will never have a life like we have a life, but he deserves to have a life. And this is one of the starfish that we can save. And I'm trying my best to save this starfish.
Most of the Filipinos think it's taking too long. But when I compare it to other Haiti, even developed countries like Japan that was hit by the tsunami, and New Orleans in the States, they're still rebuilding until now. I know that it's a process that takes time. And so whatever help that comes, and you course it through good NGOs, non-governmental organizations that have a name and a reputation, then definitely you'll be able to build, these NGOs will be able to build and improve in a way, when they build, improve our community. And slowly, yeah, we're improving. I know that we still have a long way to go.
My dream for RT1 is to continue to provide education, employment, which provides empowerment to people that don't have it now.